Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sharing group. Y'all are so excited today. I'm so excited. Today's lesson of A Course in Miracles is lesson 88, and we are still in a review period. The first idea for today is the light has come. The light has come. And the second idea states, I am under no laws but God's. I am under no laws but God's. And I am just elated, everyone, to introduce you to my dear friend who is under no laws but God's. Leshi Barnes had a near-death experience during a car accident and has discovered impactful ways to use her gifts to serve humanity. Leshi, thank you so much for joining the show with us today. We are so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. I'm
Yes.
excited to be here.
Yes, thank you for taking the time. So I cannot wait to start this incredible conversation. Why don't you start a little bit before your NDE, like your mindset, where you were at that time before your NDE?
Okay. So a little bit about me. I'm a mother, a wife, a loving daughter, an entrepreneur. I've been self-employed since I was 18 years old. I had went back to school to get my credentials. I wanted to become a professor in anatomy and physiology. So I had to take some classes before I can get to that point. In 2013, I lost my dad. He transitioned, and I was devastated. We were always told that death was the end, and then the resurrection. But the in-between, it just was an unknowing. So I'm working, going to school, taking care of my family, burning both ends of the candles. I was overwhelmed and exhausted. And I told my sister one evening, I said, I'm exhausted. Now, in my mind, I was thinking I wanted to go on a cruise in the south of France. But my words came out, I need a break. I want somebody to cook for me, clean for me, bathe me, exercise me, massage me, and do all this stuff, right? And then we laughed. In my mind, I was thinking on a private yacht, but my words were saying desperation, I need a break. Within 24 hours, I wasn't even 1,000 feet from my home. Let me back up a little bit. I was really busy. I went to do my mother's hair, style my mother's hair for church, for Sunday. So I was at her house Saturday evening. On Saturday evening, me and my two sons, my oldest son had graduated high school and was getting ready to go to college, had a scholarship to go to college. My baby was in the 5th grade. 5th grade. I left my mom's house from doing her hair. I'm driving home. While driving home, my street is a two-way. It's a street that goes between everybody used to get to the next street or to the next major street. So all these cars come down, but it's only a 2-lane highway. As I was driving up the street, I saw something say, look up. So as I look up, I see a SUV, a 350, a real big one, 350, 450, a white SUV. The light was on, and I saw the person head down. Don't ask me how I saw a person heads down, but I saw the person head down, looking down. And then I saw them go across the yellow line. Well, in front of me, about 50 feet, there was another vehicle, a black vehicle. I said, oh, and I pulled over to the side. There was nowhere else for me to pull. So I was in the dirt. because it's the road and the dirt. And next to the dirt was a fence, and down below were some houses.
Wow.
So maybe about 100 feet or 200 feet, there's houses down at the bottom. And I pulled over, and my son said, "Mom, why'd you pull over?" And I turned my head like this and looked at him. I said, "They're going to have an accident, and I don't want to be a part of it." When I said that, I felt something like, it wasn't even a hard boom.
Wow.
I just felt something like a tap. And I said, Adam, did they hit us? And when I looked around, I tried to get out of the car. My foot was trapped between the brake and the accelerator. It wrapped around my leg from the impact. When I didn't know it was a she at the time, but when they hit my car, they hit it on my side. I was in a hard top Jag. All the metal crushed into just about the steering wheel. I said, I can't help me get out. I said to my son. My son said, he was in pain. Well, his left arm had went behind his back. So it became dislocated. My baby was in the back. My son, Darrell, he was in the back. Thank God he didn't get hurt. He was able to get out the car, and he said there was a lady. I didn't know this because at this time I became unconscious. I didn't know that the extent of everything because I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And I was saying, help me out. And I heard my baby Darrell say, "No, mommy, just stay still. And then I blacked out. Okay. When I blacked out, I wasn't aware. It was as if I closed my eyes, and the darkness that you see, that's where I was at. But it wasn't pitch black. It was a place where it was almost a dim light. I was in an auditorium, as if when we were back in school, how the auditorium was and they had the stage.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see it, but it's like I knew it was there. And I heard this big, massive choir singing. It was a mass, you could hear so many voices. I remember being right at the front row. I knew I was there at the front row, and I can feel people next to me. So it's like as I came in at the end, so I was felt like I was at the end of the seat, the end seat, the row, and I could feel people next to me. I could feel people there. I didn't see anybody, but I could feel them. And I could hear the choir singing, "There is no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he'll do for you. His arms are wide open. He's calling you. There is no secret what God can do." Now I'm singing with them, and I'm rocking with the choir. I didn't see the choir. I just knew they were there. Everything was a knowing. I was going in the same direction they were singing in, and I was singing with them, and I felt so good. And now I felt love. I felt peace. It's nothing that I can explain, but I can feel it. Even today, I can feel the love.
Wow.
And I'll get to that in a moment. So I'm in the choir singing. In a distance, you know how sometimes they have the light kind of dim, really low, but you can see like a light in the back, in the perimeter. I can see that, but I wasn't focused on that or the people that was there. Even though I didn't see the people physically, I can feel them there next to me and around me. And it was just love and peace. It was so beautiful. I'll tell you something. I saw now, when I was unconscious in my car, so I'm sitting towards the steering wheel, right? I didn't know my head was busted. So when the airbag opened up, it opened and the steering wheel came out, and on the door panel came out, and it hit my head and it bust my head. Now, it took them an hour and 2 jaws of life to cut me out the car.
Yeah.
I can remember this lady, and I was looking at this lady tapping me, trying to wake me up. And I can hear her saying, "Don't open your eyes. They're going to cut off the top of your car." Now, I can see her face on. So I had to be looking at her out of my body experience, because my face was straight ahead to the steering wheel and I was unconscious. So I had a life-changing experience. I didn't know at the time there was so many people working on me. My husband took lots of pictures because we were just 1,000 feet from our home when it happened. 1,000 feet. When the lady was talking to me, I was still singing. There is no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he'll do for you. His arms are wide open. He's calling you. There is no secret what God can do. And you know, I'm not a singer, but it was like, there is no secret. But they sung it so beautiful. It was seamless. It was just seamless. And I knew all the words. I hadn't heard this song since I was a child in church, as maybe elementary school. And they were singing it. Okay. Fast forward. The firemen, the paramedics, they, had to put a hoist around me. And they had to hoist me out the car because they couldn't get my leg from unstuck. So they took off my door. They took off the top of the car. They put this brace and all this stuff around me. I could see from the pictures. And they hoist me out. Now, I was with the choir singing all this time in a place of peace. I was in a place of immaculate peace. I wasn't worried about nothing. I didn't know anything. I was just very, very happy. When they lifted me out the car, I screamed and I felt my body separate and I entered back into my body. Right? I went to the hospital. They took my sons to the hospital. And we went to 2 different hospitals, 2 different trauma centers. My 2 sons, they were out the next day. They kept overnight and they let them out. They were okay. I had the worst part of it. Now, I had broke my femur in 3 places, my hip, both of my knees, my ankle, my feet, my arm, my head. And I had multiple fractures. I had a bunch of different surgeries. And I went through a lot of different things, but I never cried. I felt that peace. When they took me to surgery, before they took me to surgery, I felt them staple my head back together. I felt them staple my ankle back together because my ankle was kind of messed up because they had to pull me out the car. So it broke my ankle, and the ankle was cut open from them taking me out and breaking it. And so I had a lot of instant pain, but I was at peace. So I didn't cry. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't worried. It was like I was in a different place. When the doctors came in to take me to surgery, I felt this overwhelming. Oh my God, love. I have never, ever in my entire existence felt anything like this.
Wow.
I was light. It felt like I was carried. I was held. They took me to the surgery room. I met the surgeon. He came and talked to me. And I said, let's pray. I was able to pray
Wow.
for the surgeon. I wasn't afraid.
Wow.
I was at so much peace. I could see this light, just like, I don't know if people could see it, but I was in a different place. I was touched. I was enlightened.
Wow.
It was different. So I go into surgery. I say hi to the anesthesiologist. They introduced me to the anesthesiologist. I said hi, and I said a little soft prayer, and then I was out. And then they woke me up, right? After the surgery. Now I'll tell you something. I didn't know how bad a shape I was in, but I never cried because I was at such peace. I was at such peace. I'm telling you, it's different. I was in a beautiful space, right? I didn't know the impact this created in me. I didn't know that. Okay. I end up in the hospital. Then after the hospital stay, I think it was 5 days in the hospital, I ended up in a skilled nursing facility. In the skilled nursing facilities, there's a lot of stuff goes on. There's a lot of people that transition and their spirits are still there, right? In my room, you can hear stuff. I can hear stuff. And I said, what is that? I would say, now I didn't know about the gift that I received, but I could hear things. And I was like, what was that? But I had no clue.
Right. Wow.
And they said, oh, it's lady, she transitioned and she walks the halls at night.
Wow.
I said, oh, okay. I was like, well, oh, spooky, right? Where am I at? And then I said, Father God, I said, why am I in here? And then the thought came to me, remember what you said? And I said, what? You said you wanted a break. You wanted somebody to cook for you, clean for you, feed you, exercise you, massage you, shampoo your hair, and bathe you.
Wow.
And I said, well, I didn't mean it that way. But that's how you said it. Words manifest.
Yeah.
The intentions and the energy that you have when you speak create that thing quickly or slowly, but it comes back. And because I was burning both candles, the candle from both ends, I was exhausted. So I said, I'm exhausted. And I was tired. I need a break. Break? I didn't mean break my bones. I mean to rest and relax. I said, I was thinking about a cruise. And then a thought came to me, well, you didn't say that.
Wow.
At the skilled nursing facilities, they massage me. They exercise, literally. I have videos. They did exercise on my legs. They massaged me. They had to shampoo my hair. They had to bathe me. I wore diapers. They had to clean me. I was like, what the heck? What the heck? What I said, words don't return back void. They accomplish where you send it. The Bible said, words don't return back void. So when you speak, you create. And you're the owner of the words that come out of your mouth. So you create the life you have by the words you speak and the intentions behind the words you say. So that's why the Bible said, be slow to speak and slow to anger, because you can say some things that you can't snatch out the atmosphere. I don't care what people say. You can't get it back. It goes out there and it starts manifesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an incredible experience. And thank you for sharing, Leshi, that incredible experience. When you were singing, right? You said you were singing with the choir. Did you ask if any of your family or if anybody else on the scene could physically, audibly hear you singing?
You know something? I didn't ask anybody, because when I left, when they took me out the car, they took me and put me in an ambulance and they rushed me to the hospital. I didn't even think about that, but I said, Mom, when I was in the emergency room, my mom and my husband came in. I said, Mom, I heard a choir singing. Right? I said, Mom, I heard a choir singing. I said, it was beautiful, Mom. I said, I was in a place of peace. And I told her the song they were singing. And I'll tell you something. I was in a skilled nursing facilities for months. Then I was in a hospital bed at my house for months. I had so many broken and fractured bones that I couldn't. The doctor said, don't even push your toe off of anything. I went from a wheelchair to the hospital bed, from a sliding board to the wheelchair, from a sliding board from the wheelchair to the car, from a sliding board from the wheelchair to the shower chair and the bathroom. I was down for months. It took me over 1.5 years to get my body and self back together.
Wow.
It was really, really serious. So I don't remember talking to anybody, just the ambulance, the person in the ambulance, and then to my mom and my husband, and then to the health nurses and doctors.
Incredible. What you talked about, Leshi, is something we talk about a lot on this platform, is the power of our thoughts and our speech and our actions. And since having this experience, and so I'm guessing the lesson from that is be specific with the universe.
Right.
When you speak something, be specific.
Right.
Because the universe is literal, I've heard.
Right.
But my question is, you've told me earlier that transitioning was like closing your eyes. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because there are a lot of people who are afraid of death and that thing. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about that statement.
Okay. So I'll tell you something very powerful. I didn't know it then, but I know it now. Death is not the end. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Okay. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. 2 things happen that I know for sure. I couldn't tell you this years ago because I didn't know it. Let me share something with you. When I close my eyes, a lot of times I could see a lot of stuff, right? When I close my eyes and I go to sleep, I can see different things. Before my accident, I didn't see. Okay. The reason I could say death is not the end, look at this. After I got myself together and I was able to walk again, which was a journey. I went to visit my dad at the cemetery. I cried so hard. He's at the military cemetery, not far away from my house. And I cried so hard. I promised to God, I was by myself and I felt something hug me. Someone hugged me. I literally felt someone wrap their arms around me. I turned around and there was no one there. I said, bye, Dad. And I left. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. Look at this. When I transitioned, I received a gift. I had no idea that I transitioned to receive the gift. The gift of healing to help people that loses physical sight of their loved ones. And the reason I say physical sight, because you can't see them, but just because you can't see them, it doesn't mean that they're not there. You just can't see them. So I said, it's beautiful. So I received the gift and I didn't know that I had this gift. And, you know, I've always been a giver, but after my car accident, my giving heightened 1,000%. My prayer life changed 1,000%. I always prayed every day. You know, I'll say a prayer, whatever. But my prayer life has changed where I pray for other people. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get on my knees and pray for about an hour for other people, runaways, homelessness, elderly in convalescent homes that's being abused, people that's sick in the hospital. Oh, and to speak of hospitals, it's a whole lot. I don't want to get lost off of this. So I would go to the hospital and I would feel stuff, right? I could feel, I would feel something go through me and I was like, what was that? Right? But I didn't know that I had this gift.
Right.
I could feel like a wave, like it would just take the energy from me. And I was like, what is, it was almost, because I didn't have nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sound like I was loony, you know, but I know that death is not the end.
Yeah.
I know that the gift that God has given me is a gift of healing and to help people that loved one transition. And I can feel it. Okay. So just say you had someone to pass away, right? I could talk to you through the phone, through a camera, and I can feel the warmth on my cheek.
Wow.
Or there's a knowing that someone is here.
Yeah.
And then I could tell you different things that they say. I can give you names sometimes. It's just like a lot of times it's a lot. But it didn't happen at one time.
Right.
Little by little, by little, by little, it would gradually happen. And just over the past, I really want to say past few years, it's been coming into full fruition.
Yeah, you told me that the restaurant that you and your husband own was like your classroom.
Yes.
And you had a couple come in and you felt that warmth that you're referring to on your face.
Yes.
And it was almost like your cue that they had a transitioned loved one who was trying to come forward. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So I didn't know that I had this gift. I didn't know that I had this gift. So I want to say one thing. I had a prophecy given to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was on you remember I talking about my prayer life really exploded? So I was on this 30-day prayer call line with over 1,000 people. And we just prayed every day. And I received a prophecy, and the prophecy said that in 5 months, something is going to baffle up my life entirely, right? I didn't understand it. And it said a few things, but in 13 months, I wouldn't recognize what I have become. So I didn't understand that. I was like, I wouldn't recognize what I have. What do you mean I won't recognize what I have become? So I didn't understand it. So I just left it alone. So within that 5-month period, I didn't realize it then because I had left it, because I didn't understand it. I was at the restaurant working. A lady and man came in. It was about 12 o'clock. And I was at the cash register, working the cash register, but I felt this warmth. I had never felt it in the restaurant. I recognized that when I transitioned. Mm-hmm. I felt that warmth. The warmth is love. It's not just warmth, but it's a beautiful energy, spirit of love, right? You just can't I could just like feel it. And I felt that. I said, whoa. I said, can I say something to you? And they said, yes. I said, I feel an ancestral energy connected to you. And then I said in my head, what did you just say? I had never heard it before. I said, what did you just say? I felt an ancestral. I said, I felt an ancestral energy connected to you. Then I began to describe what I saw. Wow. It was like in my mind's eye. I said, I see a lady, and she's about maybe 4.5 feet tall, maybe 5 feet, short lady. Mm-hmm. She had brunette hair, and she had like bangs coming to the front. It was thin, but she had it curled, coming down almost like that. And I knew her personality. I knew the words she said. And the guy eyes got really big, and he took the wife. He said, give me that phone. He said, look. He opened his phone and he said, we just left her. They were at the cemetery. Wow. And I said, what the heck? Wow. How did I know that? How did I know that? And I told my son, I told my husband, and I called my sister. I said, something weird just happened to me. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote it down in my phone and my notes. It's lots of stories that it's a knowing. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And you told me that you can feel the physical sensation. Right. Of other people. Is it just other people who are in body, or only those who have transitioned that you can feel these physical sensations as well? You can hear, feel, all that. Okay. So first, it started with people that had transitioned. Okay. Right? Right. And I can feel them. Now it was in small steps. So the restaurant was my classroom. Mm-hmm. At the restaurant, all these different people would come in, and I could feel different things, and I could hear different things, and I would share with them. And every time I would share a story with them that I felt of their loved ones, it was like right on point. They're like, oh my God, how did you know this? And I'm like, I don't know. I could just hear. Yeah. I could feel. I can hear the names. I could feel what happened to them. If they had cancer, that they was throwing up. I can feel the sickness. This one lady, okay, in the classroom, which is the restaurant.
Yeah.
I look, I had to be there to learn this.
Yeah.
Had I not been in the restaurant, I would have never knew all of this stuff that's going on. I would have never known it because I'm not around a lot of people.
Right. It exposed you to different people.
Right.
Yeah.
A lady came in one day. I was working the register and I got really dizzy. I said, Daryl, I got really dizzy out of nowhere. I said, what's wrong? And when she left, it left. Another lady came in maybe a week later. And I'll tell you something. When one experience happened, that same experience happened in multiple people to let me know this is what that means. This is what this means. It didn't just one person and I knew. No.
Right.
It was multiple people, the same thing over and over until I got what it was. Then another experience would happen and all these different people would come in at different times, you know? But until I said, oh, okay, this would mean. Oh, this means a grandmother energy. Okay, the high vibration. Okay, this is a mother energy. Oh, this is an auntie, sister, godmother, friend, baby energy. Oh, this is a grandfather over here. This is a father figure. So the two different sides, I learned who it is, right?
You started to learn the cues of every, for lack of a better word, every medium or anybody who's able to pick up on spirit has like cues. Like this mean when I hear this or when I feel this or when I see this, it means this. And so I think it happening multiple times was probably your guides telling you this is what this translates to so that you can better communicate the messages. That is powerful.
Yes.
That is so powerful.
It would happen over and over and over again. I mean, it was so detailed. This thing is divine order. It was so detailed. Look, I sat down at the restaurant one day, right? Someone came in, their wife had passed away, and they wanted us to cater the food for the repast. So I said, okay. So I went to sit down with the man, and as I was sitting down with the man, I could hear his wife. And I said, and what I heard was, I saw what she looked like. And I said, was your wife tall and she has short hair, blah, blah, blah. He said, yeah. I said, did someone give you white flowers? And you have them on a mantle? He said, yeah. I said, your wife said she likes them.
Aww.
Right? Those was her favorite.
What was his reaction?
He was shocked. So then he couldn't believe this, right? So the next day he came back with his daughter. He came back to bring the deposit, but he brought his daughter back with him, right? So his daughter was standing up on my left side and he was sitting to my right side. And I said, can I ask you a question? And she said, sure. I said, did you lose a baby? Did you have a baby? Did you lose a baby, a child? She said, no. I said, you didn't have a miscarriage? She said, no. I said, oh, okay. But I knew she did because I felt it, right? So I was writing, and I didn't mean to sound out of place, but we were talking. And I said, can I ask you a question? And so she went and sat down across from me. And then about 5 minutes later, she looked at me. She says, I had a stillbirth.
Aww. Wow.
But the baby was with her mother.
Wow.
So that's why I had to find out, because I knew I felt the baby
Yes.
with them.
Wow.
And I said, okay, so that's it. And then the father said, oh, I didn't know that. Well, it was her stepfather.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said, your mom mentioned something, but he didn't remember. And she had a stillbirth.
Wow.
And it was a little girl. And she sat down and she probably just had to get herself together because how did she know that? How did I know that? But I did only knew it because they told me that they had the baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her baby.
Yeah.
You see?
So LaShawn, let me ask you this because I want to unpack this a little bit. You know that within our community, African American community, and a lot of other communities actually, they look at being able to hear from spirit as something from the devil. And I know, you know, that a lot of us have to unpack and release those subconscious beliefs and fears around that, right? Thinking it's
Right.
a devil and this is evil, demonic, and this and that. What was your process in not judging the information that you were giving and understanding that this is from God? What was your journey on that?
Okay, so growing up, you would say, oh, that's witchcraft. This is this is that, right? I think people are destroyed by the lack of knowledge. That's what the Bible said. My people are destroyed by the lack of knowledge.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they don't have an understanding. And you only know what people pour into you.
Yeah.
And the people that pour into you, if they was told this, then they told that, and that generation went on, right? I know when I transitioned, I received a gift. Now, I had things growing up where I'll have a dream and the next day it would happen. So I had some form of that. I also had a really good discernment growing up. It was, but it wasn't like this.
Right.
Death is not the end. It is not the end.
Yeah.
It is not of the devil. Now, this is one thing I don't do and things I do. I don't know if that sounds good or not, but I don't.
Yeah, you were telling me that you don't seek out spirit.
No.
You let them come to you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to say something. Okay. For me, they come to me. Okay. This is what I believe.
Okay.
This is what I wholeheartedly believe this.
Okay.
This system is set up impeccable. Divine order is set up in a way that we have no clue of knowing all the fundamentals and the foundations of all that there is in the unseen. Okay. Now, the only way I believe that I can feel, see, or hear from a loved one of anybody in any capacity is because they're with them already. The reason I can feel it is because when I transition into love, I know that feeling. I was next to a whole bunch of souls.
Yeah.
So I know what it feels like because I came back. They're still there. You see? So I know what the feeling is like. Okay, now, when a person is grieving in any capacity, the loved ones come to hug them. How do I know that? When I was grieving at my dad's grave, someone came to hug me. So I know that that energy body is there, and that's what I feel. The energy body. Yeah. I can feel that.
Yeah.
because they come to comfort you and to caress you and let you know it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But you can't feel them. Now, some people could say, did I just see something?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or did I hear some footsteps?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or did that thing just move? They're not crazy. It
Right.
happens. It
Right.
literally happens.
Right.
So that's how I can feel it. It's not of the devil.
Yeah.
Because it's of love. Now, I don't go and seek out people or awake people that is not there.
Yeah.
If a person come and talk to me,
Mm-hmm.
if their loved one is there, I can feel them.
You can feel it. You can feel it.
I can feel it through the phone. I can feel it through the camera.
And from my understanding, I want to make, because I know people are going to probably reach out to you. There are a lot of people who have people that have transitioned. You do not accept payment for this gift.
No, I don't charge because it's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gift from God. And who am I to
Mm-hmm.
say, pay me some money and I'll tell you something? What if you don't have money? What if you don't have anything?
Yeah.
And you're just missing your loved one and want to know something?
Yeah.
How am I going to say, you got to pay me for it?
Yeah.
No, that's a gift of healing. Right? And so I will talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I don't go and say, oh, I need you to go and find my cousin or blah, 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 my brother. I need him to come and talk. No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't go and seek out people to bring them to you. They have to be there. And then I'll share what they have to say.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. I've had another gentleman who is absolutely Christian, Daniel John, on the show, and he does not accept payment. Instead, though, he has a nonprofit where he gives money to homeless. And
Yeah,
so
that's what I work with. Homelessness.
So
Right?
I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, Leshi. People are going when they hear this, because a lot of people have loved ones who have transitioned that they worry about, that they wonder about. Are they okay? I don't see them. I don't feel them. I haven't had them come in my dreams. So they will reach out to you, and I know I'm gonna say this, that you're saying there's no guarantee that I'm gonna pick up on those energies. There is no guarantee, but if they happen to reach out to you and you pick up on their loved ones and share it, just already have something set up to where maybe they can make a donation to your homeless program that you have, because I'm setting you up. I'm letting you know people will reach out to you. Because that is beautiful, 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 beautiful what you do. And it is healing work. It is healing work as we transition from the third dimension to the fifth dimension until we are all able to pick up on those energies. Like people like you do, beautiful beings like you do, is so very valuable to the collective. It really is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. So I just want to encourage people to let them know that death is not the end. Hebrews 12:1 speaks about the great cloud of witnesses. Yeah. Okay. And I prayed and I asked, I said, what is this? How can I hear this?
Yeah.
I said, Father God, show me what this is and how do I hear this? It's a knowing. And the Bible scripture came to me, Hebrews 12:1. The soul goes back to God, but the spirit body becomes part of the great cloud, because you can't see a spirit, of witnesses. And they root us on and they cheer us on and they try to guide us and they try to help us. You know, when you transition, you're still evolving and you're still doing work.
Yeah.
You're not just like cold in the grave.
Yeah.
Look, this is an earth suit. The earth suit go back to where it came from, which is the dust.
Yeah.
The soul goes back to God because when God blew into Adam, he became a living soul.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit body becomes part of Hebrews 12 and 1, the great cloud of witnesses. And that's how I can feel and hear because they're still with us.
Love that.
Right?
I love that.
So I just want people to be encouraged and, don't think that when you leave them in the grave, that's them. They're gone out of the grave. That's just the suit that they lived in.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is significant. Thank you so much for sharing. I can feel the peace that people have hearing your words. I have a question. Okay. So, Leshi, you had to you literally had to have your hair shampooed. You had to be bathed. You had to be fed. You had to be all this. During this time after your NDE, you literally lost everything, right? You had a business going, you were doing the cosmetology thing.
Yes.
What were the valuable lessons that you learned during that time, having lost all, the job and all that kind of stuff and working your way back up? What is it that you would like to share with the viewers about that experience?
So I've always been, and we are all eternal beings.
Yes.
First of all.
Yes.
And we have more power than we give ourselves credit for. We have fight, and we have push, and we have drive. Somewhere down the line, someone said something to us, and it broke our self-esteem of our worth and our values and our strength. And I can't. But within us, we have fight and determination because we're creators. We create in the image and likeness of God. So you keep pushing and pushing. I wasn't worried about it. I was at peace. I have never been in such peace before in my life. I wasn't worried about anything. I didn't worry about anything. Everything that I had, I can get it back because I got it the first time.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You never lose anything. If something leaves you, it's only because it's not meant for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's meant for you, it will find you back. Your purpose is within you, and your purpose will awaken you to unlimited possibilities if you listen, because there's whispers spoken to us daily. And it's in silence, but we're so busy and on the phone and internet that you can't even hear it.
Yeah.
People say, who's my spirit guide? They don't talk to me. They talk to us. But we're so busy that we don't hear it. Just because it whispers. You say, where did that come from? Little things.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. I read on your website, Leshi, that you are an inspirational vessel of light.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that.
So we're all light. We're all spirit beings, right? And we inspire each other on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
In some capacity. Some may say, I get an idea. I may look at something, and I get an idea. That's an inspiration. Okay? So it may not be something big and flashy and lights. Little sparks of light. They're everywhere, and it's inspire us to do better or keep going or evolve or to give or help, So that's the inspirational vessel of life. I'm a vessel. I'm a servant of God. And I come to do his will every day. I surrender my day to Father God. I say, your divine will be done in my now, because all we have is right now. Tomorrow, later on is not promised. So if I give my all right now, and if the next moment I'm still here, then I give that too.
Yeah.
Because we were sent to earth to be of service. Somewhere down the line, they told us to buy a house, buy a car, buy this, buy that, buy this. And we forget to be of service. We're purchasing, buying things.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have to do all that, because when we leave the earth, what you have? You only have your works. You have nothing but what you did. Who did you help? Who did you give to? Did you feed the poor? You know? So I help a lot of people.
Yes. If people wanted to reach out to you, Leshi, what is the best way that they can contact you? Do they find you on Instagram? Do you have an email address if they wanted to chat?
Yeah, so what I would do is I would give you a link that you could put
Okay.
in there. I'll give something just for the people.
Okay.
It'll be something special just for them,
Gotcha.
where it won't get lost in all the other emails
Yes.
that I have.
Yes.
But it will be something just for them where they can leave a message and give me some time
Okay.
to call, because I have a really busy life.
Okay.
And I want to be able to do whatever God needs me to do to be of service. Let me put something together.
Okay.
And then I'll give you a link, and then they can just go there and I will connect with them.
Okay, perfect. So everyone who is seeing this, I will have that link in the description box. We're gonna put some pressure on Leshi to get that link together. I know you have a website, but she'll give me that link to put in the description.
I have a website. But I want to give something special just for them.
God, oh, that's so beautiful.
Because I don't want to. A lot of people have hope.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a lot of people that are struggling every day, right? To get out of bed, to brush their teeth, to comb their hair. Because it was time for their love, whether it's a child, a mother, a father, a grandmother, it was time for them to continue their work for God in a different way. And so they have to leave the physical realm to continue to do their job, but you'll meet up with them again. So a lot of people, they just can't get it together because they don't know, oh, they're in the ground. They're not in the ground. They're so far away from the ground. They're not in the ground. So I want to make a space for the people that are going through something. I don't want them to get stuck in a bunch of emails that I get.
Yes, that's
I
beautiful.
want to give them a special place so that we can connect. And then I can't promise anybody anything, but whatever I hear and feel, I'll share it with them. And it's always of peace. See, when our loved ones leave the physical realm, they're at peace.
Yes.
It's such a beautiful peace that surpasses. The Bible said peace that surpasses all understanding. That's where they're at. They're in a place of peace. It's a beautiful place of peace. And they're still with you, but you just can't see them. They're still with you. They're hugging you while you're laying in the bed, crying your eyes out, like I was at the cemetery. Boom! Right? And then comfort.
Yeah.
I felt it. Sometimes they just can't feel it. I've had people like literally come into the restaurant and I felt their loved one hugging them. I said, you just feel that? They said, yes. I said, that's your loved one hugging you. They had goosebumps when they felt it.
Yeah.
So our loved ones are still with us, even though we can't physically see them like we can see each other. But you can speak to them anytime. And I guarantee you, when you speak to them or think about them in deep thought, they come to you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for that message. You have love on your tongue with that. Do you have any last words of wisdom to share before we close this out today?
Yes. So I would like to say that we all are one. There's one body, there's many members, the Bible speak about it, right? We're all inside of God. We're all inside of the creator of the universe. And God is love, right?
Yeah.
And if you love God, you love humanity. I'll say this. People say, oh, I love you. I said, no, you don't love me. I know how real love feels. I know what true love is.
Yeah.
It's pure.
Yes.
It's so pure. It's non-judgmental. It's open-hearted. It's not all that stuff that people, I love you, okay, but I don't like what you do. I don't like this. I don't like that. So you don't love me. Love is unconditional. God loves us unconditional.
Yeah.
And our loved ones, when they transition, they turn into pure love.
Wow.
Because we are all love. But in our earth suit, we have a lot of blemishes in our eyes. And that's what we're working on it daily. But I just want people to know that God is love. And God loves each and every one of us. And don't blame God when your loved one leaves, because we all have a time and a day that we're going to transition and go back to where our loved ones, our ancestors, and all of them are at. And we'll be before the choirs, and we can hear the choir sing, and it'll be a beautiful place of peace. Peace. Oh my God. Beautiful peace. Beautiful joy. Beautiful love. Extended happiness. Trust me, your loved ones is in a place of love. So don't worry and let the enemy trick your mind to give you all these dark scenarios. Look, I have had people that had an accidental death, whether it was through drug overdose, accidental death, accidental murders. I felt them and they were at peace. I could hear them laughing. I could feel the joy. I could hear the mother voice over here. I can hear the son voice. I can feel, I'm telling you, it's a different place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Just say, I love you. And I know that you're here. And eventually they will show themselves to you. Whether it's some footsteps on the second floor in your house, or something moved, or you see a glimpse, or you see an orb, they will appear.
Oh, my heart is. Do y'all feel that? Does everybody watching this video feel the fullness? Thank you so much, Leshibarnes.
You're welcome. I really appreciate it.
Your words have been beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I really appreciate this time. I really appreciate this space. I appreciate the platform. I appreciate the viewers. I appreciate the listeners. I appreciate all the souls that connected to you. See, you are a door of information that was set in time for this space. The way we connected, I would have never in my lifetime met you.
Wow. Yes, it was.
But how spirit connect different dots. Yeah. And it'll get you together, and then it'll give a story, a message for this person or a message for that person. And then it allow people to connect with me that I will never, ever know in this lifetime. Yeah. So thank you so much for allowing the Holy Spirit in me to be able to reach other people and let them know, look, death is not the end. It's another transition. Birth is not the beginning. It's another transition. When you birth a baby, it's just another transition. Then there's another transition out, and then there's another transition there, and then it's there. It's so many worlds, and there's so many things going on. We don't even have the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we don't. So I'm not done with you yet, Lashai. I have closing remarks.
Okay.
But this has been an incredible conversation. So Lashai,
Yes.
as you shared with us today, prior to your near-death experience, you spoke words to your sister that manifested an astonishing experience that would change your life.
Yes.
This, as we know, is the power of our thoughts and our speech. And in the same way, following your near-death experience, you, Lashai, continue to hold the creative power of speaking things into existence.
Yes.
And this amazing ability to manifest in this way is something that every single one of us have, right?
Yes.
Constantly utilize, whether we know it or not. As you have stated, we are creators, whether we know it or not. But what is exemplary about you, Lashai, is that you choose to use your creative command to speak incredible love and healing over others as you transmit messages to them from their loved ones beyond the veil. In this way, you are a bearer of the good news, speaking life into everyone you encounter. The healing, comfort, and love that you extend to others from your heart is like a beautiful ray of white light, illuminating their dim outlook from grief and heartache to peace and joy. The impact, Lashai, of your messages, not only from transition loved ones, but your beautiful words of encouragement from your guides results in not from what we hear from dramatic loud noises. People don't have dramatic loud noises when they hear these special messages you hold, but it is felt in such a deep and profound way that it may only be detected, the impact. It may only be detected in the relief of a clearing exhale. An exhale that releases fear and anxiety, making space for the exhilarating return of peace and tranquility. And that's what you do for the collective, Lashai, when you speak these messages. I've heard that exhale myself. I've heard you speak that relief into people. I personally have heard that. So it is important for me to say, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on this planet with us. Thank you for dedicating your life to service to humanity, okay, in your own words. And thank you so much for joining the show. It has been an absolute pleasure having you. This has been amazing. And this is a video, everyone, to return to over and over again, because there's so many divine messages in her speech today. So thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome. And I just want everybody to stay encouraged and just know that death is not the end.
Yeah. It's just another transition, like you said.
It's just a transition. It's like we turn another age. We're all gonna leave, but that's not the end. And when we leave, someone is gonna miss us. And when that person leaves, somebody's gonna miss them.
Yeah.
But it's not the end. But we'll always be there to caress and hug and let you know that we're still love, pure love.
I love it. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today, y'all. If you enjoyed today's message, please hit that subscribe button to return over and over again to hear these beautiful messages from people who have transitioned and spent time with God and come back to deliver these amazing messages. And Leshi, we end the show with a heart. Yes, I love it, love it, love it. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank y'all for watching. I have gone, she's taking us to church today, y'all. She's taking us to church. So I love y'all. And until next time, bye-bye. Talk to you later. Bye.